Welcome, it's your friendly neighborhood badger here, and I'm back for the second Ultimatum video that I am releasing, deep diving into the mechanics and skills and other buffs that we're getting, well, and nerfs as well, that we're getting to the Ultimatum League in 3.14. Now, if you're watching this video, then you've probably seen the other videos, but there is a playlist down below if you want to check out the other videos on everything that I'm releasing in the upcoming 3.14 expansion. Now, today we are talking about the skill gems themselves. Now, there are actually quite a few skill gems and support gems coming as additions, which are all primarily focused around your life or physical damage over time and everything like that. So right here, GGG is saying, we've introduced 8 new skill and support gems that are themed around the concept of blood, sacrificing life for power. These gems open up even more possibilities for characters built around staying on low life, the threshold for which has been increased to 50%. That's massive, by the way. We've rebalanced Val skills and increased the number of souls gained from damaging unique enemies. Now, that is obviously a lot of information just in those couple of sentences there. First of all, the increase of low life from 35% to 50% is going to just basically change the meta. I'm almost certain that's going to change the meta, unless the numbers themselves are not going to be too impressive. But let's have a good look through. So first of all, we have an Exsanguinate. So I'm just going to basically TLDR all of this, but all of this information, if you want to see it, can be found just at pathofexile.com/ultimatum. So Insanguinate is basically a spell where it uses your life instead of mana to shoot tendrils from you, and applies a hit and a damage over time debuff to the enemies as well. Now, it can be supported with things like chain and everything like that as well. So I was just saying to chat, it's kind of like a bleed arc, which is really, really, really interesting. Now, the numbers on Exsanguinate, we can actually jump over here. People have kind of had a look at this. Do we have Exsanguinate? I'm not sure if we've got numbers for Exsanguinate. We do. All right, so at level 1, we're looking like it's dealing a initial hit and then a physical damage per second. They are both very similar in their damage and phys damage over second, so the initial hit and everything like that. So we can expect that to scale the same around, so you're getting, you know, around about 300, 400 phys damage, or maybe 200, 300 phys damage, and 200, 300 base physical damage per second, and the duration is a base of 1. Now, we don't know exactly how that's scaling yet, but it does fire tendrils at up to 7 targets, which is pretty interesting, which these can chain as well. This is going to be pretty awesome. All right, let's move on. As I'm saying all of this, let me know in the comments below what skill your favorite is and how you're going to use it in a build. I really want to know what you guys are theory crafting so far. All right, let's move on to Corrupting Fever. So Corrupting Fever consumes some of your life and grants a buff that causes your hits to apply corrupted blood, which stacks with each hit, causing more and more physical damage over time. So basically, you know Corrupting Blood, when it applies on you and you're like, no, I'm gonna die, spare my life flask. Well, now you can do that to the enemies. And the big kicker is enemies don't have life flasks. So that's gonna be pretty fun. Now, I think it has been confirmed. Now, chat, let me know if I'm wrong. Think it has been confirmed that it's a maximum of 10 stacks. I'm not 100% sure, but I think that's what it actually is there. So you're not going to be able to scale this to infinity like you can do with poison, but 10 stacks is still going to be pretty insane. So Corrupting Fever as well, we could probably have a look over here. Do we have Corrupting Fever in here? Bloodthirst. Doesn't look like we have Corrupting Fever to have a look at the numbers. No, never mind, I just went past it. Never mind, chat. So we've got the base physical damage over time, a duration of 1 second, and it is refreshed after you spend a total of 26 life. Triggering this skill still requires paying its cost. So at level 1, it is costing 78 life at level 16. So you can expect this is going to be a fairly nasty life hit that it's going to hit to you, which is pretty insane. So there's going to be a lot of a difference there. In the skill really hitting you hard, but then you hitting the enemy hard, right? So it is a spell as well, so you can scale it through all of that. All right, let's move on. Now, this is a skill that I thought was going to be melee, and I'm very disappointed that it's not melee, but it is called Reap. Now, Reap conjures a bloody scythe that swings across an area, applying a strong hit damage and physical damage over time. Now, we've seen some video footage of this skill, and it looks like the area is pretty nasty, which is going to be pretty cool to scale. It does gain a charge that scales its damage up and increases its life cost with each swing up to 5 times, and it's very potent against single target enemies, which is interesting that they've put that there. It's particularly potent against single target enemies because the clear potential looks really good as well. So this skill, Reap, I think is a bit of a standout, and I think this one is going to be seeing a lot of use in the meta itself. So yeah, we'll see how that one plays out itself. Now, the Reap itself, the damage is looking like we're looking 58 to 87 physical damage and 120 base physical damage per second. So the physical damage is scaling. The dot damage is scaling better than the physical hit itself, which is pretty insane. Yes, excuse the ads right there. Ad blocker does not seem to be working on that site. All right, now let's move on. Petrified Blood. Petrified Blood is a new skill option for the low life builds. This one's going to be insane. Only Flask can recover life above 50%. So you're basically at 50%. You can't recover with like Life Leech or Life Regen or anything like that. Only Life Flasks are going to get you above there. Other life sources only affect the lower half of your life. A portion of incoming hit damage that affects your lower half of your life is spread out over time instead of being instant. Now, this is going to be, I think, going to be quite strong if you can balance your defenses well. If you can get your defenses working extremely nicely, then you're going to be able to do some really interesting low life shenanigans. And it basically means that you can be on low life most of the time, right? Most of the time. So yeah, I see that this is probably going to get a lot of use, especially in softcore. We're not sure how much that's going to get used in hardcore. It could be a lot. It could maybe not be a lot. But you could also do some big ES shenanigans. Obviously, low life is usually used with ES. So that's pretty interesting right there. Now, itself, what are we looking like with this one here? Wherever it is, right? Wherever it is. Wait, what was it called? Petrified Blood, that's the one. So, 40% of life lost below half-life is prevented, all right? Then 100% of life lost prevented this way is lost over 4 seconds. Which is very interesting. 40% is pretty nice. It's pretty nice. I think that's pretty good, yeah. All right. Let's move on. Arrogance, Bloodthirst, Life Tap, and Cruelty. Now, all of these are support gems. The first one, Arrogance, is all about reserving life instead of mana and also increasing aura buffs. Now, it does have at level 1 a 220% mana multiplier, so this means that a base 50% aura itself is then actually going to be 110% reserved. Obviously, you can reduce that down as well, but I can see Arrogance support being used with things like Mortal Conviction and other stuff like that as well. Supreme Ego is another really, really good one, all right? Now, Bloodthirst Support. Bloodthirst Support adds a percentage of your life as physical weapon damage while you're on low life. So this is meaning that low life attack builds are going to be a lot better than they ever used to be, which is pretty awesome. Life Tap Support is causing supported skills to cost life instead of mana, and once you've spent enough life, you gain Life Tap, which multiplies the skill's damage for a short time. So kind of like a fanaticism type of buff, but with sacrificing your life. I don't know. I think they're really trying to push those kind of mechanics. We'll see. And Cruelty Support. The Cruelty Support grants a buff which increases the damage over time you deal with supported skills. It also boosts the hit damage from supported skills, and the Cruelty buff gets stronger the harder you hit. Now, this is going to be absolutely insane. I think this is the strongest support out of the 4 of them. This is just going to be bonkers for something like Bleed Earthquake or Ignite Ice Crash, as someone in chat said before. Very, very, very strong. So those support gems are going to be pretty cool. And then lastly, Val's skill gems have been, I guess, kind of a mini rework. Not really rework, but improved. Numerically rebalanced and increased the number of souls gained from damaging unique enemies. So I feel that early in the league, there's going to be some abuse with things like Val Clarity and Duration. Things like Val Grace and Duration. The kind of defensive buffs, I think, are going to get a lot of use. And be a little bit too strong, I think. Just a little bit too strong. That being said, you know, abuse it. It's going to be fun. Vile skills are going to be in the meta again. It's going to be really cool. And then at the end here, you can see it's Ziri's Reign, the Crimson Jewel, has been improved to give around about, well, it says 17% there. It's probably going to go up to 20% Vile Skill Effect Duration, and a 20% chance to regain consumed souls when used. So you've got a 1 in 5 chance to be able to basically double cast your Vile skill, or, well, not quite double cast, but basically that's going to be bypassing the cannot gain souls and everything like that. So, you know, speeding through Vile Spark meta is you reckon the Vile Spark meta is back? I think 2 Vile Sparks with increased duration and its Ziri's Reign will be able to clear Strand once again. So I think the Vile Spark Strand meta is back. There's a little bit of a capper on that one, but there's a part of me that kind of hopes that it might be. That's all I really have to say about the skills themselves. As I said, let me know down below what your favorite skill or support gem is, and let me know how you're going to build it on characters. I'm looking at a Slayer for low life shenanigans, or maybe a Bleed Earthquake Gladiator as well. Could be extremely tasty. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Thank you so much, chat, for being here and spamming drops. I really appreciate it. And until next time, Badger out.